I actually got 3.7K in hand. It was insane, man. Like that's three times plus my old paycheck. So it was a crazy thought that, only a few months ago that I wasn't even in this, and nowadays, like it's
Yeah.
changed my life completely.
What is good, team? I'm here with TK, the one and only. The bro just left his job as of yesterday. Bro,
Mm.
if you want to introduce yourself to everyone. The floor is yours, bro.
Easy, man. Easy. I appreciate the time, bro. Yeah, my name's TK. Like, it's crazy to even think that I've actually left my job, man. I've been here for 10 months. Like, if you told me that back then, I just would call you crazy, bro. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
That's the thing though, bro. You call yourself crazy, but you got to think crazy to kind of get those things. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? If you
Exactly.
don't think crazy, you're not going to achieve crazy.
100%.
But even you saying that, bro, if you told yourself 10 months ago or even a year ago that you've been able to quit your job or leave your job, what was life actually like before ABC, bro? Like, what did your day-to-day kind of look like before being able to leave your job?
Oh, man. It was like I was trying to get out of just being a teenager in general.
Yeah.
So sort of just, no, not ditching mates, but so just having to lock in on the 9 to 5, man, trying to build myself up. So, I was just going to work every day,
Mm,
spending the weekends with the family, just pretty typical. But yeah, it just got a bit repetitive after a while. So I was, yeah, trying to find something else to do.
yeah. For sure, for sure. So it was kind of, just going down the traditional pathway where everyone was like getting out their teenage years, working the same job, but it was just a repetitive work, doing the same thing day in and day out. Was there other things that you kind of tried, bro? Like you would have been wanting to make a change for a while, bro. So what were the other things you tried and what did you mainly lack for you to go all in with it?
Yeah, man, I dove into drop shipping a little bit, man, just e-com in general.
Yeah,
Like it went okay, it got me my skin in the game, but at the same time, I just sort of lacked direction.
yeah.
So I felt like a train off its train tracks. Didn't really know where I was going with it. I just wanted to do something.
Mm. That was like me, bro. Like when I was 16, I tried ecom. I invested into like some course that was like $700, but that was like my whole savings at 16, you know what I mean?
Mm,
And I just felt no direction or guidance, like you mentioned, bro.
mm.
And I know being moldy, it's super hard. I'm moldy myself, bro. So what's it like telling your moldy family that like I just quit my job? I'm making money online. What's that part kind of like for you?
Yeah, it's a weird one, man. And like there were sort of two sides of the story. Mum was
Mm.
pretty ecstatic about it. Like it
Yeah,
was something she's always been looking for me to do, is to actually just get out of the 9 to 5 life, do something for myself.
yeah,
But on the other hand, dad being dads, he was sort of he called me an idiot. That was the
mm,
first thing he said. But after he calmed down, he sort of understood what I was trying to do. But at the same time, I know in the back of his head, his reaction was like, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like
yeah,
he's just looking out for me at the end of the day. But yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
At the end of the day, they are looking out for us. And I think the main reason for that, bro, is like they want you to have a safety net. Because when you're starting to provide an income online, there's really no, you know, unless you're on a retainer, there's really no stable or predictable income coming when you're making an online income.
Mhm.
Some weeks you might make zero, some weeks you might make 4K. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And that unpredictability is what they're worried about.
Mhm.
And I know myself growing up in a multi household, how scary that is to tell them, like, yeah, some weeks I'm not going to make any money. Some weeks I'm going to, not be able to eat at this point. So, like, how would you explain it to someone who's watching this who has a similar kind of background or, their parents don't believe it's possible? What would your kind of guidance be for them?
I guess it's just like being a really understanding person. Like you got to stop being so selfish and just be looking at yourself. Like you got to realize that they are just looking out for you.
Mm,
But at the same time, sort of explaining what you're trying to do in the best way possible.
yeah,
Obviously, they didn't really grow up with technology,
yeah.
so they don't really understand it all, and that's why you have to be really talkative about it, and really
Mm,
transparent. But at the same time, obviously, if they don't agree with you, then again, you have to put yourself first, man, so you can start providing for them.
yeah, 100%, man. I think it's not about proving them wrong, but it's also about proving yourself right. Because
Mhm.
once you can do that, then they will follow. You know what I mean? Something I tell a lot of my people is that when I first started to tell them, I was like, what would you do if you had the opportunity that I have today, would you be doing what I'm doing? And they're like, yes. I said, okay. Now, if I was in your position and I had the opportunity back in your day, I would have the same mindset, right? Work hard, get a job, provide for the family, rinse and repeat. But since the world's changed, your guys' mindset has stayed the same, but the world's changed.
Mm,
And because your guys' mindset stayed the same and your mindset hasn't changed, your old ways are going to continue with the way the world is shifted right now.
mm.
You know what I mean? I was talking to someone today, bro, and they work at a shoe stop, like a shoe shop,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and they told me their whole warehouse, because I used to work in a warehouse, their whole warehouse is ran by robots now. Not a single human is running this warehouse. And I was like, so the whole warehouse that provides your shoes is ran by robots. And they're like, yeah. And I said, don't you think that's crazy?
Mm,
Like, don't you think where the world is heading right now in terms of AI, in terms of robots and everything like that? I was like, bro, don't you think that's crazy? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, in like 5 years, bro, like 90 million jobs are planned to go remote. You
mm.
know what I mean? And that's a scary sight. We can already see it with like self checkouts, and this is a whole nother rabbit hole. You know, this is obviously about you, bro. So I guess why did you make a change, bro? Like specifically, you know, it's the same thing every single day. You wanted to get out of it, but why specifically did you really want to make a change?
Yeah, I guess there's quite a few things, man, but like the main point was really just coming to a self-realization that, like you said, man, what I'm doing is gonna end, right? Like I'm
Mm,
replaceable, as
yeah,
sad as that is, and that's most people nowadays.
yeah,
So, I got told a really good saying, right, that all hands-on work is going to be ending. You need to be computer-minded. It was from
yeah,
a really old person. He never touched a computer, but he told me that, and I took it to heart. And I was like, you know what? Like, I actually have to do something to
yeah.
change so I can get into the online world, bro. So I can
Mm,
make myself irreplaceable.
100%, 100%. Like you said, what we were doing is like super replaceable. So we want to be able to get in a position where we become irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, bro, like why ABC specifically? Why not like a ecom training ship or something else? Like what was it about ABC that made you go, all right, this is the one for me?
Mm. I guess it was really just trying what I did before with ecom, not really getting far with that. I realized that I needed the skills first
Mm,
of running a business before I actually even start trying to run a
yeah,
business. So, sort of with ABC, I knew that from past experience of one of my mates
yeah,
that they were really good with
yeah.
sales, and that's why I sort of wanted to get into this first before I do
Mm,
anything else.
got you. So it was kind of a word of like a referral, like a good word of mouth that was like one of your mates that you knew was like, these guys are really super good, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna need to make this change as well. You know
Mm,
what I mean? So I guess with the high income skills, obviously you realize that I need these skills first to succeed. So
mhm,
how have those high income skills changed your life, bro? Like I know you quit your job, but talk about that crazy win. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. You printed over 4K just from sales.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it was pure sales. I actually got 3.7K in hand.
That's crazy.
It was insane, man. Like that's three times plus my old paycheck.
Mm,
So it was a crazy thought that, only a few months ago that I wasn't even in this, and nowadays, like it's
yeah,
changed my life completely.
that's that's crazy, bro. You
Mm,
know, who would have thought that we would go from understanding like is that life really possible to then living that life and to your parents one's been super supportive and one's calling you stupid
mm,
one's
mm.
kind of hippie but then at the end of the day bro you like kind of show them that the results are there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You show them that it's possible. So for anyone watching this bro, what would your piece of advice be for them to kind of make that change, bro?
It's really the hardest thing, and but the most important thing is just to get started, just to
Mm,
actually do something. Everyone says they want to be able to retire their parents and they want to get into the online space, but it's really just taking that first step. So I guess it's just like, the Nike slogan, just do it.
yeah,
There's a reason they've got that as their slogan is because it works so well. If you're looking at your own situation, you need to come to a self-realization that, this is going to end in the future and that I need to do something a lot bigger than myself and for your family as well.
bro. You hit it right on the nail there. You know what I mean? Just do it because I probably say this in every interview, but everyone waits for the perfect moment to start. but don't realize that starting is the perfect moment.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's like just do it. You know, taking action is going to be only the good thing that comes out of it. Not taking action is going to lead you to only bad things. So, bro, I appreciate you for jumping on. Like your story's crazy. It's only going to go up from here. Just left your job. Your dad called you crazy, but at the end of the day, we made it here, and we're going to make it happen, bro. But
Cool.
I'll catch you guys later. God bless. Subscribe. Like this video. Love.
Yeah.